Good morning, this is Chuck from Kyle Coaching. I just finished up my workout over here at LA Fitness, and I wanted to take a few minutes to make a video this morning to tell you what my guidelines are for a typical workout and how to best use the Strong app in order to capture the data from the workout. The first thing we're going to talk about is what is the goal of this portion of your strength training program. What we're going to do is we're going to work on the size of the muscle, or we call that hypertrophy. You can benefit from larger muscles if that increased size is kept in check and used properly. We're going to try to increase the performance of the muscle by first increasing its size, and once we've achieved our desired size, we will change our focus towards the desired outcome. A muscle that is the right size can be made more stronger and more powerful and given more endurance. So how does that change what you're going to do at the gym? If you go to your Strong app and you upload the upper body workout, you'll see that we have specific reps, sets, and rest. These are all designed specifically to build the size of your muscle. So your reps count will be somewhere between 6 and 12. Your sets will be somewhere between 3 and 6 sets. And then your rest will be somewhere between 30 seconds and 120 seconds. This will be completely up to you which you would like to increase or decrease. However, I'll always start out with some initial guidance. How do you determine how many reps you need to do? Well, remember I told you that we want you to go somewhere between 6 and 12 reps. So pick a weight and start lifting. If you fall short of 12 and say you're at 8 or 10, that's a great weight. If you go over 12, 14, 16, that weight's a little too light. So what we want to do is adjust the weight to where you get at least 6, but not more than 12. Now, one of the things to mention is that rest. Rest is very important when it comes to strength training at the gym. Just like when you go out and do sprints on a bike, and you have to have ample amount of rest, the same goes with the gym. So pick somewhere between 30 seconds and 120 seconds. If you're resting less than 30, that's not going to work out well. If you're resting for greater than 120 seconds, that's a little too long. So aim for about a minute. It's going to take you a couple weeks to get used to your routine. What I recommend is we do 2 upper bodies per week and 1 lower body. Remember, one of the things about the lower body workout is it could have a negative impact on your cycling. So that's why we're going to limit it for 1 right now. Once we get towards the winter months and we're coming off the bike and onto a trainer, then we're going to increase that. All right, so how much rest between days? Well, if you're doing an upper body workout on Monday, you don't want to repeat that upper body workout until Wednesday. So at least 24 to 48 hours before you do that set again. One of the most important things you can do is log the amount of reps and sets and weight that you're using. This will become very important when we're doing what we call progressive overload. So what we're going to do over the next couple weeks is we're going to start out with a regiment this week, and then as we progress, we'll determine whether or not we're going to increase the weight or decrease the weight. So one of the concepts, the easiest to do, is called a 2+2. What that means is if this week that you're trying to do 3 sets of 10, then your last set, go to failure. See how many you can do. Can you get to 12? Can you get to 14, 16? The next time you do that workout or that particular exercise, let's say the bench press, then you're once again, you're going to go 10, 10, and then to failure. If you have 2 workouts, consecutive workouts, in which you can hit 12 or 14 on the last set, then it's probably time to bump up your weight. Now, how much weight do you bump up? Well, if you do 10 and 10 and 12, then you're going to increase about 2.5 to 5 pounds. If you do 10, 10, and 16, well, then you probably want to put an additional 10 to 15 pounds. For right now, we're going to work on size for both the upper and the lower body. The lower body workout is very important. This is where you're going to have to put a lot of emphasis, because what we want to do is we want to increase the amount of power that you can produce when it comes to the spring of next year. So what does that mean? Well, so cycling is what we call a triple extension exercise. You have the hip extension, you have the knee extension, and ankle. So what does that break down? Your number 1 power producing muscle for the pedal stroke is your glutes. That's followed by your quads and then your hamstrings on the upstroke. So most of the workouts that I've put on your training plan really have to do with the activation of your glutes and your quads. So we'll start with the squat. The squat's probably one of the best exercises you can do into the gym for your lower body and for cycling, because there are lots of muscles that get activated when doing the squat. There's a couple different videos that we can share with you and show you exactly how to do the squat. Form is very important, but once again, we're going to go somewhere between 6 and 12 sets, so we don't have to get crazy on the weight, at least not yet. When we come to our strength training, when we're actually just trying to build that raw strength, then we'll increase that. After your squat, then we're going to do a deadlift. This is one of those exercises that's very important to have really good form. So study up on the deadlift, but that's going to help you with your lower back. You've seen riders and their body starts to crunch over on the handlebars and so forth. Well, that's because they don't have a strong lower back, and also because they don't have a strong core. After we work on the glutes, then we'll move towards the quads. That's going to be your lunges and then your leg extensions and those type of thing. On the leg extensions, we're really not going to go real heavy because we'll get the heavy weight when we're talking about the leg press. And I'll give you a different little exercise later on when we get to the winter months on something to really burn the quads and the leg press. Then after we finish with the quads, then we emphasize a little bit on the calves. The calves is one of those muscles that's really not that important during a pedal stroke. However, if you have calves that are not strong, then you'll see that the athlete's foot will start to droop and so forth like that on the pedal stroke, and it can cause fatigue. The biggest thing we want to do is build as much power as we possibly can while eliminating fatigue. I've mentioned it a couple times now, but one of the most important things that you can do is log your information. This will tell you where you are today and then how to progress, how to add more weight, and then eventually we'll know exactly where you're at. Then when we get to the spring and we start working on sprints, then we can see what was working in the gym and what was not working in the gym. I recommend using an app like Strong. It's free. I can share with you my different workouts when it comes to upper and lower body. It makes it pretty easy for you. If you don't want to use an app on your phone or your iPad or something, then get a notepad, and I will send you a template to put on your notepad to be able to log each one of those and to follow along. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop me a comment below or just send me an email at chuck@kylecoaching.com, and I'm more than happy to answer strength training questions that you have. Thanks again, guys, and talk to you soon.